All right, let's clap it up. Shalom, Yahabashim Yashar Brakathum, to all the brothers. Shalom, Yahashimalatham, Bashim Yahashar, all the sisters. The Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana, the Monday night scripture breakdown class. If you got any questions on or off topic, go ahead and put them in the chat or raise your hand. Tonight we're going to be talking about how important it is, especially in these times right now. Like right now, we are in, we don't even realize it, but right now we are on the brink. When I say we, I mean the world. The world is on the brink of World War III, on the brink of thermonuclear warfare, and we don't even realize it. Like as a people in like just as people in general, but the people who seem to be the people who are the most out of the loop is blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, because we in hell. Like this world under our oppressor and surrounded by all these nations that are our enemies, thus saith the Most High. You know what I mean? This place is hell for us. So we trying to, you know what I mean? We trying to get comfortable in hell because, I mean, we trying to keep our lights on. We trying to keep our babies fed. We trying to keep our wives happy. We trying to, you know what I mean? We trying to keep ourselves from, you know what I mean, from falling off the edge of insanity, because everywhere we go, we are the world's #1 enemy. And so instead of, you know what I'm saying, if we retaliate as black men, if we just, you know what I'm saying, roar as black men, we raise our voices, lift up our voices, try to change our situation, we try to defend ourselves or whatever the case is, you know what I mean, we're going to be found to be the enemy, and your oppressor is going to waste no time to, you know what I'm saying, rain vengeance on us, meaning like, you know what I'm saying, mass incarcerating us, Salakia, you know what I'm saying, or unaliving us in our, you know what I'm saying, in our homes, in our churches, in our, you know what I'm saying, vehicles, during traffic stops, in a parking lot, in grocery stores. They would, you know, they want to rip us away from our families, you know what I mean? So instead of standing up and being a masculine black man, instead of standing up and being a masculine black man, we turn to getting high. We turn to alcoholism. We turn to fentanyl. We turn to Adderall and lean and all the, you know what I'm saying? We turn to whatever's going to get us, you know what I'm saying, take us away from reality, right? And we supposed to be the heads of our communities. We supposed to be ahead of our families and of our households. So, you know what I'm saying, what we do, you know what I mean, you know what I'm saying, the family's gonna follow. You know what I'm saying? We getting high because our household is such a, even, you know what I'm saying, every nation is against us, and then we get into our household and we can't even find peace because our woman is against us. Our woman is against us as prophesied in the scriptures. Our children are against us as it was prophesied in the scriptures. What is that? What scripture is that? Children are their oppressors and women rule over them. Saran brought it out yesterday. Let's get that real quick, cause it's just gonna solidify the point that I'm making right now. Like our households are, you know what I mean, because of the hell that we live in. Our oppressor has manipulated us to the point where now our households, where we can. It was a time where, you know what I mean, a brother could go out and fight the world. You know what I mean, go through all the trials and tribulation it is that comes with just being a man, and come home, you know what I'm saying, to a woman who, you know what I'm saying, loves that man and will, you know what I'm saying, wants to make, you know what I'm saying, take the, you know what I'm saying, take the stress off of being in the world, fighting and battling all day with everybody, being public enemy #1 to the entire world. You can come home to your family, to your wife and your children, and, you know what I'm saying, get a hot meal, have your woman, you know what I'm saying, rub your back, children, you know what I'm saying, making you proud in the household, you know what I mean, just showing you love and all of that. But now, you got that, priest? Baba Kashai.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 3, verse 12. As for my people, children are their oppressors. and women rule over them.
So this is the condition of our households now. This is the condition of our households, man. Like as for men, you know what I mean? Children oppress us. You know what I mean? Children are our oppressors because we want to do everything. You know what I mean? I've heard this story so many times where a brother is like, yeah, I don't believe in Christmas. I don't celebrate my birthday. I don't celebrate Thanksgiving. I don't celebrate Halloween. I know it's evil and wicked. I know all of that. But I just do it for the kids. I do it for the kids. So you're going to do something that you know is absolutely downright wicked for the sake of your children. Your children are your oppressors, and it's because the woman rule over the entire household. Or your oppressor has, you know what I'm saying, set up his you know what I'm saying, society, set up his kingdom to where in our households in our households, you know what I mean, for us to be destroyed, he is giving our women the authority over the household. And then the children, you know what I mean, the women and the children the authority, and then the man, you know what I'm saying, has to get with it or, you know what I'm saying, get with it or get lost. You know what I mean? And that is what is destroying us and continuing to destroy us. But the thing about that is that concept has no power over us if we just stand up and stick together. And that's what we're going to need in these end times. You know what I mean? Like World War III, like we said before, World War III is right around the corner. It's not even around the corner. It's right up the street. Like it's right there in sight. Or we don't even realize how big of a player America is. We think that's just going on between Palestine and Israel. We think it's just Ukraine and Russia. We think it's just Taiwan and China. We think it's just, you know what I mean, we just think it's, you know what I'm saying, all these problems that's going on overseas that has nothing to do with black people or it has nothing to do with America. But America is very involved in this warfare. They just sent, 10 million? 10 billion? They 10 billion? That's a lot of money when, you know what I mean, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans' lives are in ruins and in shambles over here in America. Hell, even, you know what I mean, just a couple months ago, gas was out of control. It was grievous to fill your tank up. You know what I mean? America could really use them dollars. What is it called? BRICS, the BRICS alliance. You know what I'm saying? That's an alliance formed primarily to attack the American dollar, and but America is able to send billions of dollars into overseas to aid a war that we've and to aid a war, and we feel like we think that has nothing to do with us, so we're not gonna get roped in at some point. Like no one's sending billions of dollars over into a cause that they're not involved in. And what we got to realize is whoever, you know what I'm saying, we sending those billions of dollars over there, the opposition sees it. It's very public, you know what I mean? It's very public where that money is coming from and that America is sending its money. So the opposition sees that this money is going over there. And you don't think that's going to upset them a little bit? You know what I mean? They fighting that war against, you know what I'm saying, Israel and Palestine, you know what I'm saying? They fighting against one another, but they see who's supporting them as well. You know what I mean? You see, you know what I'm saying, in the streets when you was growing up, you see your brother getting jumped or fighting, and you know what I'm saying? If you with him, you know what I mean? You going to jump in there with him. And then they see you jumping in, and then they jump in, and then before you know it, it's an all-out war. Well, that's exactly what you see right now, you know what I'm saying, in the world. And that's exactly how World War III is going to pop off. Or it's popping off already. And it's just a matter of time before it gets too big to hide. But what we got to realize is while we in these times, we got to get back together. We got to get back together and, you know what I mean, get back together like the Most High said, gather ourselves together, O nation not desired. Because in the midst of this, like, we ain't got nothing to do with this. And even in the midst of them fighting the war, they hate us. They still set aside time and energy to hate us. You know what I mean? We ain't got nothing to do with this situation. But for somehow, like Saran brought out yesterday, somehow black people in America are the problem and the reason why there's wars going on overseas. And And that's how it is everywhere we go. You know what I'm saying? Somehow, no matter what the problem is, it's blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans' fault. So what we got to do is stop trying to love our oppressor and stop trying to get our oppressors to love and accept us. And we need to come together. We need to come together with one another.
That's right.
Let's get Zephaniah chapter 2 verse 1, Bob Kashar, real quick. Unless you had anything to bring out.
Yeah. What you said about with America giving 10 billion to Israel, to the Israelis over there. You know, so now America throw their bid in. It's like you said, they throw their bid in and they want to see you win. Anything. You know what I'm saying? You throw your bid in a game, you want to see that team win.
Right.
So now, like you said, America threw that bid in. Now it's about to go down because these other teams, these other players, they're not backing up. They're not backing up this time.
Yeah.
So this gonna bring World War III. And what you're saying is it's so heavy because, like Christ said that we can discern everything else, but we can't discern the time. You can see when it's about to rain. You see it's about to storm. You know what I'm saying? You can see that, but you can't see what's going on right now in the Middle East because you're too busy here living your American dream.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Right. No, damn right. Like what you said was absolutely correct. Cause like just think about it. Like using the same analogy, you know what I mean? Like imagine if you fighting somebody one on one, and then you fight somebody one on one, and then somebody like give your opponent, you getting jumped 2-on-1, and then somebody give your opponents, you know what I'm saying, weapons. They're like, here, use these. Get these brass knuckles on. Here, get this bat. And you gonna look up. Not only are you gonna want to eliminate your immediate enemy, but you're gonna be looking at the, you know what I'm saying, the one on the outside. You're not gonna look at them as if they innocent. You're gonna be like, when I'm done with them, we gonna have to talk about this right here. Like you gonna want some retribution. You know what I'm saying? If that happened, and that's it, that's so crazy. It's like that's so crazy. What's up? Okay. Well, it's so crazy that we can understand that on that level, but you know what I mean. This somebody send it's like $10 billion to your enemies, then we for some reason can't fathom that as an act of you know what I'm saying, instigation of war, and we can't see that. You got me, priest. Take the water. But we can't, for some reason, we can't see that. You know what I mean? That's exactly what's going on in the world right now. Like, for some reason, we can't see that America is choosing a side. Like, America is not being neutral in this. And with that being said, you know what I mean? All the things that's going on, all these things that's going, all that warfare that's going on, and America is funding it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Nobody's gonna take that lightly. And what we got to realize is, as blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, is that this ain't got nothing to do with, you probably just do one, priest. Yeah, Bob Kashai. But what we got to realize is this ain't got nothing to do with blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, but it has everything to do with America, which is run by your oppressors. And it's only a matter of time before all your oppressors, you know what I mean, the so-called Chinese, the so-called Russians, the so-called Germans, the so-called Africans, the so-called East Indians, the so-called you know what I'm saying, the Palestinians, the so-called Israelis, which are really just you know what I'm saying, nomadic Europeans who came into that land, you know what I'm saying, after you know what I'm saying, the Holocaust. But all of these nations, you know what I'm saying, all these nations are being roped in, like it says in the scriptures, they're being roped into World War III. And these are going to be your enemies who are going to devour each other and destroy each other. And if you just realize that these are your enemies, and that they, you you know what I'm saying, these your enemies, you know what I'm saying, who have oppressed you and had a hand in your oppression, you just stand back and just let them, you know what I'm saying, let them handle their business. It ain't got nothing to do with you, black man, Hispanic man, and Native American man. But the downfall that we're going to experience is not coming together, like the priest just brought out. Like, us not coming together is going to be how we end up, you know what I mean, falling, or end up, you know what I'm saying, thinking that we got to pick a side. We got to pick a side with Israel and Palestine. We feel like we got to, you know what I mean, like, what's that man name? Amari Stoudemire, that coward, you know what I'm saying, for somehow, you know what I mean, like we said earlier, somehow, you know what I mean, a war breaks out overseas, and then less than 24 hours, you know what I mean, he gets online and calling every black man a coward and says F you, because you're not denouncing, you know what I mean, two of your enemies killing each other. Man, give me a break, man. But that's, you know what I mean? Like, it's because we're not together. We're not together. You got that, Zephaniah?
This is the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2, verse 1. Gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation not desire.
See, this is what we need to do. We need to gather together, because we're the ones in all of this, even in the midst of, you know what I'm saying, all this. Like, every time I get online, all I see is I see children, you know what I mean, just blood running down their faces and missing limbs, and you know what I mean. All I see is terror and destruction and lives being taken. And even in the midst of all that warfare, like I said earlier, all these nations still find the time and energy to show you, black man, Hispanic man, and Native American man, that you are, read that again, nation, what?
Gather yourselves together, yea, gather together, O nation not desire.
See, even in the midst of, you know what I'm saying, World War III popping off, these nations still have the time and energy to set aside to be able to show you how undesired you are as a nation, black man, Hispanic man, and Native American man. And with that being said, we need to do exactly what it said in Zephaniah, chapter 2, verse 1. Gather together, because we are clearly so undesired that your enemies will show you that you are undesired, even in the midst, even if they have an enemy in front of them with a weapon, with nukes, you know what I'm saying, with bombs and AK-47s and all of that. They have an enemy directly in front of them, you know what I'm saying, unaliving their children and trying to take their life, yet they still have the time and energy to tell you how much they hate you. You are undesired, black man, Hispanic man, and Native American man, and now more than ever, it's time for us to see that. See how undesired we are. And, you know what I'm saying, not get involved in this war, you know what I'm saying, but separate as the Most High intended for us from the beginning and gather together. Go ahead, read on. Or you had something you wanted to? Go ahead.
Yeah, so he's saying so heavy, man. Like, even going, you know, this whole scripture is about, you know what I'm saying, it's about gathering together. I'm going to say, I won't go ahead. It's about gathering together, you know what I'm saying? The Palestinians gathering together right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Israel, you know, stop saying Israel. The fake Israel are gathering together right now. Because why? It's war.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's why this passage, it's like this verse right here is so heavy, because the Lord telling us to gather together, not to sing Kumbaya and everything, but for what? Protection.
Right.
We can't look when it go down, it's going down, man. You out here looking goofy and silly. Somebody you can't like a Hispanic brother because he speaks Spanish. His skin tone different from yours, or hair texture. That's why I said black, Hispanic, Native Americans, we all the same people, we are family. And the scripture right here saying that we should gather together.
Damn right. Exactly. That's exactly the point. Like blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans right now, right now is time for us to gather together, like all these nations around, like all your enemies have already done. It's time for us to get with the program and gather together, because we are not desired, and it's quickly winding up to be too late. Go ahead and read the rest of that, Baba Kashai.
Verse 2. Before the decree bring forward,
Mm-hmm.
before the day pass as the shaft, before the fierce anger of the Lord come upon you.
And see, this is the problem. Like we think that we got all the time in the world. Let me get Ecclesiastes chapter 8 real quick. We think we got all the time in the world to just indulge in America and you know what I'm saying, all the lusts that we get to fulfill in America. We think we just got all the time in the world and you know what I'm saying, cuz we just living day by day, check to check. You know what I mean? We want to go to work. All of this is going on. We just want to go to work, come home, get high, get something to eat, sleep with something. You know what I'm saying? Have you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Have an orgasm and then go to sleep and then start over. You know what I mean? Go get a check. You know what I mean? Get high. You know what I'm saying? Get us something to drink. Get us something to sleep with, and then repeat it day by day. But time is quickly winding up. Time is quickly winding up for us to get it together and gather together because there's a deadline. It said before the decree bring forth, meaning what the Most High said was going to happen. If we didn't gather together, if we didn't follow these laws, statutes, and commandments, and love one another as a nation, if we didn't correct one another, if we didn't get in order and obey the family structure that the Most High put in place, we didn't follow these laws, statutes, and commandments that the Most High put in place. If we before the decree bring forth, before the Most High do what He said that He was gonna do, which was punish blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and we gonna get to it too. We gonna get to a little bit more to that later. But before anybody who clings to your oppressor, anybody who clings to your oppressor, you know what I mean, is going to be destroyed and eliminated with your oppressor. And before that day happens, it's time for us to gather together. This is how important it is for us to have our family structure in these last days. And the Most High gave us the blueprint. You got that? Did I give you a verse number?
No, you
Verse 11, so like you. Because we live in this hell. We so entrenched in this hell that and that's the thing. Like it's not that we can't see these things transpiring. It's not that we can't see, you know what I'm saying, America, the so-called land of the free, home of the brave, where all men are so-called created equal. You know what I mean? It's not, you know what I'm saying, it's not that we don't see this so-called place ignoring your pains and cries out for help and your cries for, you know what I mean, for them to take their knees off your neck. They're ignoring your cries, your homelessness, your poverty, but then they're sending money overseas to these other countries. They sending money over to you know what I mean, to Ukraine. They sending money to you know what I'm saying, their allies overseas. Meanwhile, you know what I mean, they call you a bum because you get a couple $100 a month in food stamps. And they call you you know what I'm saying, a alien when, you know what I'm saying, our Hispanic Native American brothers try to cross over to the border of America, which was their land originally. They call you an alien, an illegal alien, and a super predator. But then all these other nations come over, you know what I mean? They not getting whipped crossing over the ocean. They not having, you know what I'm saying, men on horseback whipping them like back in, you know what I'm saying, slavery. You know what I'm saying? They don't got that going on with them, but they coming over and receiving stipends to start businesses in your communities and not leave a dime behind. Like that's it's not that we don't see these things. It's that we're choosing to ignore these things because our lives are such pain to live that all we want to do, I just want to smoke my blunt, man. How many times I just want to smoke my little weed, man. I just want to smoke my weed. I got to work tomorrow. Just come on, I ain't trying to hear all that right now. I ain't trying to hear all that right now. I'm just trying to let me smoke my little weed and blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? How many times have we heard that? But that's the condition of our people, and what we got to realize is it's winding up. It's becoming too late for us to make the right decision. Go ahead, read what you got, Baba Kasha.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 8, verse 11. Because sentence, it's like, because sentence against, it's like, because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the Son of Man is fully set in them to do evil.
See, that's what we gotta realize. Like right now, you know what I'm saying? Right now, our hearts are set to do evil because you know what I'm saying. We don't get an immediate punishment for you know what I'm saying us doing these evil things that we do. You know, in this trying to join ourselves to America. There's no immediate punishment a lot of times for what we do. We actually get encouraged, you know what I'm saying, get high. We get encouraged to you know what I mean, to go and be whoremongers, brothers. We get encouraged to, you know what I'm saying, go and sell drugs to our community. We get, you know what I'm saying, we get encouraged to go and, you know what I'm saying, kick a door in. You know what I'm saying? Especially our sisters, too. Like, there's nothing more, you know what I'm saying, there's nothing that our oppressor loves to do more than, you know what I'm saying, encourage our sisters to, you know what I'm saying, rebel against our men because that's how, rebel against their men because that's how your oppressor is able to keep us, you know what I'm saying, keep us underneath them. Keep us from rising up and being masculine and standing up against the things that they do, which we all know is wrong, right? But they, you know what I mean, like they encourage, you know what I'm saying, they encourage our women to, you know what I'm saying, rebel against us. And that's why it's so important for us to get our family structure back because once we get our family structure back, like the Most High said, what is that in the First Timothy, Second Timothy, the family structure, the Most High Christ, First Corinthians. Yeah, Baba Kasha, let's get that real quick. What we don't understand is the because of these things, because we encourage to do so much evil, because we encourage to do so much evil in this world that it's set in our hearts to do evil. It's set in our hearts. Like we don't even think about it. All we just like, look, I just want to get high. I just want to smoke my blunt, man. I just want to eat my pork chop sandwich. Let me get my catfish plate and my shrimp, man. I'm trying to go to Benihana's, man. Just let me, you know what I'm saying. I had a hard day. You know what I mean? It's set in our hearts to do evil, man. But the family structure, pretty soon we gonna see. Lord willing, to be before it's too late. But pretty soon it's gonna be evidence. It's gonna be evident. It's gonna be something that we just can't ignore. How important this family structure is, and why the Most High put it there. Let me get that real quick.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 11, verse 3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ.
Right. So the head of every man is Christ. Go ahead, read on.
And the head of the woman is the man.
The head of what?
And the head of the woman is the man.
The head of every woman is the man. So every woman, you know what I'm saying, especially in that wicked, disgusting, evil Christian church. I mean, every woman want to say, oh, I'm married to Jesus. I'm married to Jesus is my husband. No, he's not. Your head is your man. Christ is the head of man, and your man is the head of you, sister. And it's in your best interest. You know what I mean? I know it's a tough pill to swallow, and I know, you know what I'm saying, you tired of hearing it. It seems, you know what I'm saying, the internet has convinced you, you know what I'm saying, your oppressor has convinced you that it's misogynistic for a man to be the head over the woman and over the household, and for the woman to submit. But that's what the Most High said. And it's going to be so important for us to get back to that family structure for these last days. Because, like, right now, we're going to get into it. We're going to get into exactly why. But let's, you got something, Priest?
So, like, you said something that was so heavy. I had to touch on real quick. When you said about the women, you know, well, the person said that our women, how they should act. You know what I'm saying? How they should move towards their man in the house. You know, I'm tell you something, sisters, man. Yeah, the oppressor man, he is not what you think he is. You think he gave you liberation. You think he gave you rights. Only thing he did was put you in a place where you could be the strong single black woman, yet yearning for a man. That's
right.
The place he put you in. He put you in a place where your son had to grow up effeminate because there was no man in the household, because you kicked him out. Because why? Because the oppressor told you not to fall for any bull crap, that you queen. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that the oppressor man was beating his women? Did you know that, sister? Did you know that the oppressive man, the reason why alcohol got what's that word? Prohibited.
Mm.
Oh, the reason why, because when they got home, they beat their wives. They got home from the saloon.
Damn.
They came and beat their wives and raped the kids, slacking, the all kids, sexual assault the kids. That's why. That's why they want to be liberated from their counterpart. Our sisters, we had nothing, you know what I'm saying? Black, Hispanic, and Americans, you know what I'm saying? The man wasn't acting like that, man. We had loving households, but yet we want to run to the oppressor, think they are angels, think they're sent from God. Man, these people are wicked,
Right.
and they poison your mind, man.
Right.
Just like Eve, who bit that apple, who the devil told, hey, you could be a black queen, a Nubian queen.
Good night.
You ain't gotta listen to him. That's the apple.
Mm-hmm.
So that you could be who you want to be with. That's the apple. It's like
Right. Now, what that priest just said was absolutely correct. Man, get out of hand. And like, it's just so I forgot all about that prohibition thing you just brought out. But what we gotta realize is like we are nothing like our oppressors. You know what I mean? And we are not. You know what I'm saying? The Most High told us to be separate from them. And we, you know what I'm saying? Your oppressor can be what Officer Yadiah saying, you could be free white in 21. You know what I'm saying? You can't be free white in 21 like your oppressor, you know what I'm saying, running rampant in this world, you know what I mean? Pretending, you know what I'm saying, a grown 6'8" man in a wig and a beard and breast, you know what I'm saying, talking about his ma'am. You can't do that. They can do that. You know what I mean? They can go, you know what I'm saying, get wasted. They could get pissed drunk and then go home and beat their wives. That's up to them. But like blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we cannot do that. And just, you know what I'm saying, we are not like them, man. Right. And if it wasn't for them, you know what I'm saying, taking our land, taking our people, and you know what I'm saying, and abusing us like they did for 4, 5, 6, 700 years, all throughout history and time, we wouldn't be like that either. But we learned that from them, man. But what we got to do is separate from all their ideals and come together, man. Let them do their thing. Let their household fall apart. You know what I mean? Let their children hate their father for being a stinking drunk or some maniac he just want to be a lazy bum. You know what I mean? Getting high on fentanyl and going to music festivals and getting naked and having weird orgies with one another. Let them do that. You know what I mean? And have some strange child across the country that, you know what I'm saying, never will know their father. Let them have that. You know what I'm saying? That's what they all about. Right. But we can't indulge in those things, man. We got to be set apart. And part of being set apart is exactly what that priest just read in Corinthians, which is that family structure. And that's going to keep us safe, man. That's going to keep us, and your oppressor knows it. Your oppressor knows it. That's why they do everything that they can to take power away from the man, and then they empower our women and convince them that they don't need a man, and convince them to do wickedly with our brothers. Right. You know what I mean? That's all your oppressor is doing, man. And once we you know what I mean? Once we Salakia, once we get to, you know what I'm saying, once we see what time it is, once World War III kicks in America's door, then we're going to see how valuable that family structure is. Let me get Isaiah chapter 13 real quick, just to solidify this point. Once America, you know what I'm saying, once World War III kicks in the door of America, and we're going to see exactly how important that family structure is. And that's all we're going to give a damn about. Our sisters and our children, you know what I mean? That's all they're going to give a damn about. All they're going to give a damn about is who's going to protect me. Ain't nobody gonna be giving a damn about no OnlyFans. Nobody gonna give a damn about all the likes you got on Instagram or Twitter or any of that. Nobody's gonna give a damn about, oh, you ain't take me to get my nails done. We ain't go here. We ain't do this. We ain't go out to eat. When you gonna take me out to eat? Oh, you took me to Cheesecake Factory. You took me to Nobody gonna give a damn about no damn Cheesecake Factory. Once that once you start to see that thermonuclear warfare and that World War III kicks in the door of America, all you're gonna give a damn about is who is going to protect myself and my children. It's all you gonna give a damn about. Go ahead, read verse 9. Salaki, I keep doing that.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 13, verse 9.
Mm-hmm.
Behold, the day of the Lord cometh, cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger.
See, this is that decree bringing forth that we was talking about in Zephaniah, chapter 2, verse 1. He said, gather together before all of this starts to happen. This prophecy that the prophet Isaiah is talking about right now. Go ahead, read on.
To lay the land desolate.
To lay the land desolate. We talking about the land of the north, America, your land of oppression. Go ahead, read on. And it's gonna be laid desolate, man. That is the future of America. Whether you are ready, whether you realize it or not, that is the future of your oppression, the land of your oppression. And that is a glory, you know what I'm saying? If you got any backbone or if you got any love for your brothers, Black, Hispanic, Native American man, woman, and child, if you got any love left in your heart for your people, if you got any love left for yourself, you will realize that that is a beautiful prophecy. That the land of your oppressors, the land that, you know what I'm saying, they stole from the Native Americans and the so-called Hispanics, that they want to keep them out of, and the land that they brought so-called black people and West Indians and Haitians and Dominicans over here to work our backs to the bone from can't see to can't see. Once you read in these scriptures that the Most High wants to lay this land to waste, that should be music to your ears. Wow. Black man, Hispanic man, and Native American man. Go ahead, read on.
And he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it.
And anybody who can't see that that's a beautiful prophecy, black man, Hispanic man, and Native American man, if you can't see that that's a beautiful prophecy and you continue to try to hold fast to your oppressors' lifestyles and their way of living and their ideals, then you're going to be destroyed with it in this land. Right. Go ahead, read verse 10.
Verse 10. For the stars of heaven and the constellations thereof shall not give their light.
See, the stars of heaven and the constellations, those are talking about your all the people that you look up to, who you know what I'm saying, you listen to the letter, you know what I'm saying, you listen to you know what I'm saying, like Amari Stoudemire, you know what I mean, he'll get up on live and say F you for not choosing the side of a war that you have nothing to do with, or your you know what I'm saying, your stars who are distracting you, you know what I'm saying, your entertainers, your you know what I'm saying, your LeBron Jameses and your entertainers, your what's that brother named the head coach of Colorado right now? Deion Sanders, you know what I mean? Everybody distracted by all these stars, you know what I mean? All these athletes, all these rappers, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Big, what's old girl name? Ice Spice, you know what I'm saying? I can't open my, you know what I'm saying? I can't open my eyes without seeing Ice Spice somewhere. You know what I'm saying? But once the Most High does what he's going to do to this land, like, there ain't going to be no more, you know what I'm saying? You're not going to be thinking about, oh, what Ice Spice got going on today? Oh, you thought I was feeling you? You ain't gonna be thinking about none of that. You're not gonna be thinking about, you know what I'm saying, what, you know what I'm saying, what Meg Thee Stallion got going on. You ain't gonna be worried about, getting no BBL. You're not gonna be worried about, trying to look like Nicki Minaj and, what's her name, all these stars, and they not gonna have, you know what I'm saying, you ain't gonna be thinking about none of that. Go ahead, read on.
It's like, the sun shall be darkened in his going forward, and the moon shall not cause her light to shine.
And this is going to be a very dark time when there's going to be no wisdom and understanding in the earth. That's what the sun and the moon is talking about. And in this time, there's going to be no wisdom and understanding because it's go time. The only wisdom and understanding is going to be the priests and prophets who are going to, you know what I mean, who are going to have to guide our people, you know what I mean, in this chaos, you know what I mean? And at that point, you know what I mean, if you're not in these doors, because right now we holding classes, free classes for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to understand their true culture and identity according to the Bible. We're telling you right now that your oppressor is the devil and all these nations are confederate against you. We're telling you right now, our doors are open right now. In any city that you in, you know what I'm saying? You could get the number to the school in your city and call and get to safety before it's too late.
That's right.
But in these times, when the Most High is laying waste to your enemies right before your eyes, these doors, you know what I'm saying, these doors are going to be closed. And there's not going to be as free and accessible as wisdom and understanding is today with the ISUPK, you know what I'm saying, going out and holding camps, teaching classes since 1969, as free and accessible as wisdom and understanding is today. You know what I mean? Once the Most High starts, you know what I'm saying, once World War III pops off, it's not going to be as free and accessible as it is today. It's not going to be as free and accessible. So what we need to do is just go ahead and gather together now, get in these doors, find out where your nearest ISUPK school is, and get in all black, brother. You know what I mean? Wrap your head up and come to class, sis. You know what I mean? Put on that dress and put your femininity back, because in a minute it's going to be too late. You had something? You had your hand up?
No,
Or you?
no,
Okay, no, sir, priest.
yeah, when you say it's so heavy, priest, you know what I'm saying? Like, right now, it's free. Just
Right.
walk through the doors.
Right.
You ain't got, look, man, you ain't got to know nothing about the Bible. You think the brothers, some of the brothers that's in here, they came in us, we can't know about the Bible? Nah. We came from all different walks of life. But one thing we came together, we understood that this place we're in, a new kingdom will come up, man. You know what I'm saying? And look, man, Slocky. We have to understand, like, the way we living as black folks, Hispanics, and Native American folks, man, the way we living is not up to the Most High God standards.
Right.
You understand? We can't put the weed down. We can't stop eating pork, even though we know it's wrong. Some our brothers know it's wrong, but they say, "Hey, I love it. I
Right.
want it. I want some more of it." That's right there. Right there will keep you from being safe when the day of the Lord will come upon us, man. Because you love that pork so much, but when them bombs are, you see that sky cracking open, bombs flying everywhere. You gonna try to pray to him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the crazy part. You that was it. No, that's heavy what you just said. Like, that's the crazy part. Like, we know it to be wrong. We know that this ain't life. You know what I mean? Eating, you know what I'm saying, eating trash, eating the intestines of a pig, and you know what I'm saying, dousing it with hot sauce, and you know what I'm saying, that's your dinner. You know what I'm saying? Just something you gotta rinse the doo-doo out of before you put it in your body is crazy to me. But we know these things is wrong, you know what I'm saying? Kindling that fire and putting it up to your lips, you know what I mean? And inhaling that smoke. You know what I mean? Whether it's cigarettes or you rolling a blunt, whatever the case is, like, you doing that to yourself. We know that's toxic and there's something wrong. You know what I'm saying? Something foul about that. But we'll still do it. Like, I don't know how many brothers that I done ran into. It's like, look, I don't want to smoke no more. I'm tired of smoking. I'm tired of this, man. I don't want to do this no more, man. I'm trying to quit. And then the next day they rolling a blunt as they telling me, yeah, I want to quit. I'm ready. I'm tired of this, man. I'm tired of getting high. They roll in the blunt though. Like, we know that we don't want to do this. We know that this is wrong. But like we read before, because of judgment for evil work, because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, it's setting our hearts to do evil. And that's something that we got to put in our chest, brothers and sisters. You know what I mean? That's something we got to put in our chest, that it is set in us to do evil. So we have to combat that. We have to first acknowledge that every thought that comes to your head, any thought that comes to your head, by yourself, while you alone, you know what I mean, while you individual, you know what I mean, any thought that comes to your head, you should question it, man. You should question it, because it's set in your heart to do evil.
Right.
Where we at? Verse 11.
Verse 11. And I will punish the world for their evil, and the wicked for their iniquity. And I will cause the, can I say this word?
Arrogancy.
Oh, it's like it. The arrogancy of the proud to seize. And I will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible.
Right. See, that's what's gonna happen. And, like, our Black, Hispanic, and Native American brothers and sisters, because of this hell that we've been forced to live in, you know what I mean, we've become so prideful amongst our oppressors, man. or we get us a decent little job, you know what I'm saying? Even though you came up out the hood, we'll get a little decent job and lead a, you know what I mean? And we'll think that we'll start to turn our nose up to our own people. You know what I mean? We'll move into the gated community amongst our oppressor, and we'll think that we one of them. Or we'll, especially our sisters, like, you know what I mean? Our sisters, man, like, no matter what condition, you know what I'm saying? It's so crazy, Salaki, this sidebar, it's so crazy. It's a crazy thing to blow rod for money and still think that you are better than your man or any, you know what I'm saying? To still turn your nose up at a man, at your man. That is a crazy and bold and haughty and prideful and arrogant thing to do as a sister. But that's the condition of our sisters, man. That's the condition of our sisters of world, you know what I'm saying? They making thousands of, you know what I'm saying, thousands of dollars a year, you know what I'm saying, balling on OnlyFans, you know what I'm saying, blowing rod for a living, and then you got the nerve to turn your nose up because a brother take you to Cheesecake Factory. That is crazy. That is crazy arrogance. But that's the condition of our people, man. That's the condition of our people. But when the Most High, you know what I'm saying, start to, cause he's moving, he's making moves right now. Like, you know what I'm saying, World War III is knocking on America's door, and it's not about the easiest way over here. All of it, it's gonna be all of a sudden, you're just gonna see just chaos. You're gonna start to just see all of a sudden just chaos in America, and we're gonna have America's gonna have no choice but to step all the way in to this war. And in that day, you know what I'm saying, when it's all this destruction and terror and, you know what I'm saying, life being taken and terror and, you know what I'm saying, abuse going on, then all that pride stuff, all that Cheesecake Factory stuff is going to go away. All of that, oh, I don't date no man that's under 6 foot is going to go out the window. All you going to be thinking about, let's go ahead and read on. Where we at? Read verse 12. This is the only thing that's going to matter in that day.
Verse 12. I will make a man more precious than fine gold.
You will make a man more precious than fine gold. See, you thinking about money. All our sisters, and that's the crazy thing. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. Like, your oppressor has set it up to where our sisters can get rich. You know what I'm saying? Off of child support, get rich off of, you know what I'm saying, welfare, get rich off of, you know what I'm saying, getting all the good jobs, you know what I'm saying, going to college and all of that. Not saying that our sisters don't work hard, you know what I'm saying? Our sisters are some of the most amazing creatures on this earth, man. Our sisters, man, ain't nothing. Give it up for a black woman. Like you. It ain't nothing like a black woman, Hispanic woman, a Native American woman. But the thing is, our oppressor has set it up for our sisters to, you know what I'm saying, to get above their man, right, and or to get, you know what I'm saying, to become successful. But the cost of that success for our women is that you have to be rebellious against your man, or you have to get rid of that man altogether. Like, how many times have you, you know what I'm saying, how many of our sisters got a Section 8 or welfare housing, and you know what I mean, every month or every so and so you trying to hide your man's clothes, you know what I'm saying, out of that house, hide his shoes and all of that, so that you can keep your welfare. How many times do you got to lie and say that you don't have a man in your household so that you can continue to get that welfare? You know what I mean? So that you can continue to get those what's the word? Those scholarships and those grants so that you can go to that school, so that you can you know what I'm saying, fund your business. How many times do you gotta, you know what I'm saying, how many times do you have to say that you don't have a man? You don't have the strength of your house. You don't have a husband to protect you, to get some money. That's the position that our oppressor have put our women in. And what we got to understand is that in these last days, we're not going to be thinking about, our sisters not going to be thinking about the tone of voice that your husband used when he's correcting or chastising you. You're not going to be thinking about how much money your husband makes. You're not going to be thinking about where your husband been last night and who that woman, who is that B word, you know what I'm saying, you're not going to be thinking about checking your man's phone or making sure don't nobody call him all late at night. All you're going to be thinking about is The most valuable thing that's gonna be in your life is having a man near you. Having a man, hell, you're gonna be your next door neighbor, boy. You're gonna be some of our sisters, you gonna jump in straight on the neighbor, just the nearest man to you. Just you a man, you got a gun? No sweat. No sweat. I'm yours. Let's do this. We gonna figure this out. We gonna make sure we make it through this. You know what I mean? But that's just the condition that we gonna be in. That's the condition that we in right now. Like to the point where like, and it's so heavy. Read that again, verse 12.
I will make a man more precious than fine gold,
Mm-hmm.
even a man through the golden wedges of Ophir.
See, that's the thing. Like, and it's so heavy because like right now, like a man ain't worth a damn in this country. In our to our what's the motto? N words ain't nothing. For you know what I'm saying, we know what it is, but you know what I'm saying, I ain't trying to, you know what I'm saying, I ain't trying to get shadow banned and all that extra. But you know what I'm saying, that's what our sisters have been taught to believe, and our brothers. You know what I'm saying, when you grown up and you ain't had no father figure in the house and you ain't know why, and your mama was just fighting tooth and nail to convince you that your daddy wasn't nothing. And you ain't nothing because you look just like your daddy. And don't be like your daddy. And your daddy wasn't nothing. And you better not be like your daddy. And teaching your daughters. And you better not get no man like your daddy because your daddy ain't nothing. And then we grow up like Will Smith did. We grow up and he get him a dragon. And that dragon was taught that men ain't nothing. And then Will Smith was taught that men ain't nothing. So he's trying not to be like his ain't nothing daddy, and Jada Pinkett is trying to be. She hates that man. You know what I mean? So that's the condition of our family structure. That's the condition of our family structure. That's the condition of how our family looks from the man to the woman to the children. That's how we look at men. But in this day that we're describing right now, that's on its way. During World War III, when World War III hits America, a man is gonna be worth more than all the money in the world that the most expensive, you know what I'm saying, thing that you could think of. All the money in the world. You ain't gonna be thinking about money. You're gonna be thinking about, do you have a man to protect you and your children? That's all you're gonna be thinking of. Reverse. What 13 say? You go ahead. As a matter of fact, get verse 14, or actually read verse 13 real quick.
Verse 13. Therefore I will shake the heavens,
Mm-hmm.
and the earth shall remove out of her place.
And that's exactly what's gonna happen. The heavens are gonna be shaking. The heaven, your oppressor is in heaven right now, and you are on the bottom, and there's gonna be a changing of the guard. There's gonna be your oppressor is going to be removed out of his heavenly state, and it's gonna be time for, like the scriptures say, the it says Esau. You know what I'm saying? Basically, Esau ruling right now, but Jacob is the beginning of it that follow. Like we up next. Once your oppressor's kingdom falls, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, it's time for us to build our kingdom. Go ahead, read on.
In the wrath of the Lord of hosts, and in the days of his fierce anger.
Let's get verse 14.
And it should be as the chase robe, and as a sheep that no man take it up.
So this is gonna be how blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans is going to now we're gonna follow orders, because the Most High said, "Gather together, O nation not desired." Before the decree, before all of this happens, before it's too late, he said, "Gather together, O nation not desired." Right? And now now that all of this chaos is going on that we just described, you know what I mean? The Lord's fierce anger is coming upon the earth and destroying this earth or this kingdom. And you know what I'm saying? All of these things that we just read in Isaiah. Go ahead, read on. Or read from the top of verse 14, Baba Shah.
And it shall be as the chase robe, and as sheep and as a sheep that no man take it up.
So we gonna gather together speedily. A chase row is like a deer on a run. It's like a deer on a run. And as a sheep that no man taketh up. No man, if you take up a deer, that means you taking it, or if you taking up a sheep, you taking it up to be, you know what I'm saying, to go to the slaughterhouse to be consumed, to be eaten. But this is how, you know what I'm saying, this is how quickly we're going to want to follow this order to gather together and come back to one another. You know what I mean? In these times, once it's you know what I'm saying, once it's already damn near too late. Go ahead, read on.
They shall, it's like, they shall every man, it's like, they shall every man turn to his own people
Damn.
and flee every one to his own land.
So this is how quickly that we're gonna follow. See, the Most High is telling us gather together right now while you got, you know what I'm saying, while you got little money in your pocket to get resources, while you got a vehicle to transport yourself comfortably, while you know what I'm saying, while it's not chaos and bombs and grenades and gunfire going on around you. But, you know what I'm saying, it's going to be, you know what I'm saying, once these times come around, then every nation is going to run back to his own nation. Every people is going to run back to his own people. And that's including blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. The 12 tribes, we're finally going to run back to one another. But what we need to realize is we need to come back to one another. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans need to come back to one another and love one another and rebuild our families while we can right now before it's too late. Because he said, or this prophecy is saying that these nations are going to fall, and every man is joined with them. So by the time you realize that you need to be joined to a black, Hispanic, and Native American man, the Most High might decide to just destroy you because of that white woman that you got laying in your bed, or that white man that you decided to clean yourself to, or that, you know what I'm saying, that Asian fever, that jungle fever, that African fever you got. You want to chew a ungala unkutu. You want to chew a mandingo. You know what I mean? Or you want to get you a African queen, right? You know what I mean? It might be too late for you to run back to your brothers and sisters and actually be good night. It's a Lucky and me. What you got? Never mind. I missed that comment. So you gotta tell me what you're talking about. But yeah, it's gonna be too late. It's gonna be too late when it's time for, you know what I'm saying, when these bombs start going off and when all this turmoil start going down. It may be too late to come back to your nation, but that's why we're warning you right now exactly, you know what I'm saying, what the Most High is saying and how important it is for us to restore the family structure of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Right? You know what I'm saying? These we gonna be, and then if you restore the family structure of your of our people, then once your oppressor's nation starts to fall, you know what I'm saying, everybody's screaming and crying, and what are we gonna do? They scared. You know what I'm saying? Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we could sit back and be, you know what I'm saying, we could be cooling. We could be like, yes, like this is what we've been waiting for. Now what we doing, sir? What we doing, Ottawa? You know what I mean? For your brothers too, you know what I'm saying, brothers and sisters too. You know what I mean? You could come in and, you know what I'm saying, get in all black right now and figure out exactly what's going on, get up to speed, because Commander General Yohana got the blueprint. He's so aware of what's going on. Like he's read this, man, he's seen this so many times. He's read this story so many times, seen this movie so many times, man. Like he just mapped this out. And man, so if you get up in here, get in all black and get the blueprint, man, and your sisters, you get up under that, man, get up under that, good night. Hey. Get up, you know what I'm saying, get up under that brother authority. And you know what I'm saying? Get up under that brother authority now, you know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta be worried about scrambling later. You know what I mean? And then once everything start hitting later, you know what I mean, which is very soon, you could just be like, all right, what's the plan, Ottawa? What's the plan, sir? What we got? Where we going? What's the deal? And you could be in the loop. But let me see, Salakia. Let me get verse 15, Baba Kasha.
Verse 15. Everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword.
This is what we was talking about earlier. Like everybody that's found with your oppressor, you know what I mean? Amari Stoudemire, who is, oh my God, like that's crazy. Every time I think about it, like this brother is a real Jew. He's a real Jew. You know what I'm saying? The Jews are black. He's a real Jew from the lineage of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You know what I'm saying? From the bloodline of Shem, which is where, you know what I'm saying, our bloodline comes from. He is a real Jew, but he's over portraying a Jewish man, you know what I'm saying, which is not a real Jew, which is not the Jew described in the Bible, but by phenotype, but he's the Jew described in the Bible in Romans chapter 3, verse 9, who say they are Jews but are not. And he's portraying that lifestyle, their bastardization of our culture, and then he's going to condemn us for not taking a side in a war that has nothing to do with us, man. He's gonna be thrust through, man. And anybody like him who, you know what I'm saying, clings onto our oppressor. Anybody who, you know what I'm saying, clings onto our oppressor's lifestyle, their drugs, their women, their industries, you know what I mean? All of those different things, man. If instead of gathering together. That's what's gonna happen. I think that's it on that. Let me get Salakia. Salakia. Let me get Proverbs chapter 8 verse 22 real quick. So the whole point is we need to understand how important it is, how important this family structure is, and how strong we can be if we get our households together. But we have to do it correctly, man. And that's the, you know what I'm saying, that's the man, like this brother just read in Corinthians, like that's the man, that's Christ being over the man being over the woman. That is the righteous family structure that the Most High put in place, man. And that's going to give us so much strength and comfort in these last times, man. Like, you won't even believe you was in hell. Like, us in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, like, sometimes, especially when we get together, you know what I mean? We get to firing up that barbecue pit, and we get the drinks pouring, and we got the kids running around, and we got the beautiful sisters in they long dresses that sweep the floor. You know what I mean? They beautiful hair wrap. They got their hair wrapped to the ceiling. You know what I mean? Like, it's like when we get to seeing all of that, the brothers getting, you know what I'm saying, looking glorious, you know what I mean? Everybody on the same page. You could leave your wallet, you know what I'm saying, laying your wallet over there, you know what I mean? You got your child running around over there and your wife over there, you know what I mean? And you know that nobody's going to steal your wallet and take your money and try to steal your identity. Nobody's going to try to pervert your child and abuse your child, and nobody's going to try to take your woman. That is heaven, man. And once we gather together, you know what I mean? Once we gather together, we'll forget, we'll mess around and forget that we in hell. But we have to get in that family structure, man. But for us to get in that family structure, man, is you know what I'm saying? You got you a brother in the ISUPK, man. You got yourself a you know what I'm saying, a brother who is under the authority of the Most High, man. He's under the authority of the Most High. So you got yourself a prize. Because the thing is about that scripture in Corinthians, they don't say the head of every woman is a godly man. They don't say the head of the woman is a righteous man or a high value man, like they like to say. It just say the man. So you got you a man, you know what I'm saying, or a man in general is going to be over you, whether he righteous or not. So if you got you a brother who's in here, who's willing to get in all black and come under the authority of Commander General Yohana and bow his head, shut his damn mouth, get in all black and say Khan out of one Khan and do this work, then you got yourself a real soldier. You need to hold on to him. And you need to fall in suit and you need to get in line and say Khan out of one Khan to that man who is able to sacrifice his own life and his comfort for the sake of our nation. Because this ain't just about our families. This ain't just about, you know what I'm saying, our immediate family, our wives and our children. This is about our nation. And our sisters need to do the exact same thing as well. Like we said earlier, it is set in our hearts to do evil, man. So just like our brothers, you know what I mean? We got brothers constantly over us, you know what I mean, checking us, chastising us, you know what I mean, correcting us, guiding us. You know what I mean? Making sure we doing the right decisions, man. Making right decisions. But but it is set because it's set in our hearts to do evil. And but our sisters have been given so much liberty in this earth, in this country, in this world that our sisters don't even realize that, you know what I'm saying, we don't even realize how evil, you know what I'm saying, our family structure has become. Like, for a woman to put their husband on child support and have him put in jail for being poor in America, that is a very evil thing. For a woman to, you know what I mean, take his children away from, for a woman to take a man's children away from him, for a woman to, you know what I'm saying, put a man up out the house and, you know what I'm saying, give him all sorts of hell when he come home, when you know that he been out battling the world, to go and sleep around on that man, being promiscuous and sneaky behind his back, that is a very evil thing, man. But our sisters are so our sisters are so sheltered in this country and encouraged to do evil. We don't even realize how evil, you know what I'm saying, we don't even look at it as evil. We just yas queen and all of that and giving them a pat on the back for being, you know what I'm saying, being whores. But let me get Proverbs chapter 18 verse 22 real quick.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 18, verse 22. Whoso findeth a wife findeth a good thing, and obtain favor of the Lord.
See, this is what we gotta understand. Let me get Ecclesiastes chapter 7 verse 26 real quick. See, this is what we gotta understand. Like, that scripture just said, "He whoso findeth a wife findeth a good thing," and it's so heavy because in the Christian church, like, in the Christian church, these sisters and the Christian church is so damn disgusting and evil. And Most High in Christ for our sisters in the ISUPK for not being anything like the sisters in the Christian church, man. But they so damn evil and wicked and crusty and just so evil in that place, man. Like, they'll look at this scripture and read, "Whoso findeth a wife find a good thing and obtain favor of the Lord." They'll look at that and then they'll deem themselves the prize. Like, yeah, you get you a woman, any woman. It ain't gotta be, you know what I'm saying? No, it don't matter if this sister's a dragon. It don't matter if this woman is just a evil, you know what I'm saying, an evil dragon in the earth. It's said in the Bible that if you find a wife, find a good thing. So it don't matter if she disobedient and just angry and bitter. You know what I mean? Those, you know what I'm saying? And the brothers, you know what I'm saying, the Christian pastor has convinced, you know what I'm saying, these sisters in the Christian church that they the prize in a relationship because they are pimps, man. And they know exactly how to say to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans who come up in there, man, who come up in there just naive as they can be. But they tell you that you the prize. They convince you that you the prize. And so when Christians read this verse, they say when it say whoso findeth a wife findeth a good thing, they'll take that and be like, oh, I'm the prize just because I got a breast and a behind and you know what I'm saying, and I carry the, you know what I'm saying, our women carry the children, so now that makes them the prize. Without even what they won't teach or what they won't acknowledge is what we keep bringing up in Corinthians, that the man is the head of the woman. So they all out of order. They all out of order in that Christian church, but they still deem themselves to be a prize because it is evil. It is set evil. It is set in our hearts to be evil, man. See, this is why it's so important, man. As a matter of fact, you got that Ecclesiastes, Bob Kushag. You bring that up or read that. Chapter 7, verse 26.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, verse 26.
See, this is what you got to understand about yourself, sisters, and this is what makes our sisters so beautiful in this school, man, because our sisters understand. Well, go ahead, read, Baba Kasha.
And I find more bitter than death, the woman.
You find what? Read that again.
And I find more bitter than death, the woman.
See, the woman, you know what I'm saying? It's just said, who find a wife find a good thing, but it says, I not find more bitter than death, the woman. So, is it a good thing if I find a woman more bitter than death? Is that the good thing that we're talking about in Proverbs? And is that what's gonna make me obtain? Is that what's gonna make me obtain favor in sight of the Lord, or the favor of the Lord? Finding some woman who just out of order and just disobedient and just loud and just evil and violent and just you name it. That's the good thing that we was talking about in Proverbs? Absolutely not. But this is what our sisters got to understand about ourselves. Just like our, you know what I'm saying, just like brothers, just like we read earlier, that it's set in our hearts to do evil. It's set in our hearts to do evil, man. We got to put that in our chest so that we can combat that. Go ahead, read on. And this is what sisters got to put in their chest, that there's nothing more bitter than death but the woman. Like, just think about how heavy that is. Go ahead, read on.
Whose heart is snares and nets, and her hands as bands.
See, this is what you got to understand about yourselves. Like, this is how our sisters are and how sisters have amplified and become in this country. And the problem with this is America has, you know what I'm saying, boosted the ego of our sisters. And again, our sisters are amazing, man. They do, you know what I'm saying, they excel it in every field. You know what I mean? They accelerating in the medical field, in the law field. They, you know what I'm saying, they getting, you know what I'm saying, graduating in exponential rates from you know what I'm saying, colleges and universities, man. They getting degrees and making high salaries, man. Our sisters are amazing, man. They the reason why your oppressor was able to go into space with his wicked behind. Right. So our sisters are amazing. Sisters are amazing. I'm not taking that away from you, but what you got to understand so that we can grow as a nation and so that we don't have this right here. Read it from the top, Baba Kasha. This is what's going to stop this.
And I find more bitter than death, the woman, whose heart is snares and nets, and her hands as bands. Whoso pleaseth God shall escape from her, but the sinner shall be taken by her.
See, this is what's gonna stop, you know what I'm saying, our family structure from falling apart. If we just put it in our chest that this is how I am. I am bitter and evil. I have been bitter and evil to my man. I've been bitter and evil to my children, man. And I have been a destruction to my nation and my community. If our sisters can bury that in their chest, just like the brothers have to bury in our chest that it is set in our hearts to do evil, and we are lustful and wicked bastards. If we could just bury that in our chest, then that's the first step to being able to combat it. Because if you think that you the prize, if you think that you just this beautiful creature, and you think that nothing that you do is wrong, you can never do no wrong, and all of that, if that's what you think about yourself, then you ask any sister, right? You ask any sister, how do you rate yourself on a 1 to 10? Most of the sisters, you know what I'm saying, you see these gold digger pranks, you see these videos online, on Facebook and Instagram and all of that, and TikTok. You got these brothers, you know what I mean? You got these brothers. They'll ask you, hey, they ask a sister, what you rate yourself out of 1 to 10? If it's not 10, they talking about 12.5, and they talking about 1,000,000 and 1,000 and 100, and all of that. Like, if you imply that you're a 10, that means that there's no room for improvement. And this is how you become susceptible to being this type of woman that's described in Ecclesiastes chapter 7. Baba Kasha, you mind reading that again real quick before we move on?
And I find more bitter than death, the woman.
Nah, you a 10.
And I find more bitter than death, the woman.
Nah, you a shawty right there at 10, right?
And I find more bitter than death, the woman.
Nah, our sisters can't do no wrong. It's you know what's wrong with this community. It's the men, you know what I'm saying, the misogyny. That's what's wrong. What does it say?
And I find more bitter than death, the woman.
See, that's what we got to bury in our chest, because right now our sisters think that they 10s and they they 10s, 9s, 8s, and they 12s and 20 and the hundreds, and out of 10, you know what I mean? You perfecter than perfect. You more than perfect. You better than perfect. That's how our sisters look at ourselves, because our oppressor, that same that same serpent in that garden that convinced Eve to go against her husband, is the same serpent in the earth today. That same old dragon in this earth today who is convincing our Black, Hispanic, and Native American sisters that they don't need their man. That's why we in the condition that we are in today, man. And because we don't realize how evil and susceptible to deception that our sisters are, then our family structure is, you know what I'm saying, our family structure, the children are the rulers, or the children are the oppressors, and the women rule over them. That's how we got there. Because we can't look at ourselves and say, I need work to do. I got work to do. And that's how we're gonna, I'm not saying every woman, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying every single sister in the world is just the evilest thing in the world. But if you put this in your chest, then you can make sure that you're not that you're not, you know what I'm saying, more bitter, you're not bitter to your husband. You're not snared to your husband. You're not, you know what I'm saying, something that the Most High needs to make an escape for a man from. Just think about that, man. And that's how we combat that. Is there any more on that?
Come. Whose heart is snares and nets, and her hands as bands. Whoso pleaseth God shall escape from her, but the sinner shall be taken by her.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, read on.
Behold, this have I found, said the preacher.
Now, brothers, I want you to hear this close too. Like, brothers, we got to put this exact same thing in our chest, because we love those snares. We love those women who are snares and bitter. We love that. Well, we got to put this in our chest. Go ahead, read on.
Counting one by one to find out the account, which yet my soul seeketh, but I find not. One man strong, it's like one man among 1,000 have I found.
So out of 1,000, we find one man that is worth a damn. Out of 1,000, we find one man that is worth a damn. Those are the brothers in the ISUPK. That one man out of 1,000 who is worth it, and that should tell you something about these priests and warriors and soldiers in the ISUPK, man. You know what I'm saying? This ain't somewhere where just brothers could just come in here. You can come in here and clean yourself up, but this is not the place where brothers are just running up in here and lining up and filling the door like, you know what I'm saying? You got to line out the door like in a Christian church. You know what I mean? This ain't that. You know what I mean? This is the place where 1 in 1,000, you know what I'm saying, 1 in 1,000 men come up in here and what's good? You said what? Okay, no problem. All right, no sweat. I got it. But this ain't a place where brothers are just running up in here and just, you know what I'm saying, itching to just change their lives and, you know what I'm saying, want to come in and lay down their lives to, you know what I'm saying, better their nation. This is a place, you know what I'm saying, this ain't like your Christian church. This is a place where, you know what I'm saying, only 1 of 1,000 brothers come in here and get in all black, you know what I mean, and become, you know what I'm saying, do what they got to do to become better men. Get under the authority of the men above them, their camp leader and the men above them in their zone, and say, Khan on the one Khan, what do I have to do? What am I doing? What do I need to do? What's the right way? What's the wrong way? Getting counsel and following that counsel. You know what I mean? So that we can be better. You know what I mean? So that's the it's like you give me 1 second. But that's the condition, you know what I'm saying? That should just show you how rare that should just show you how rare it is to be you know what I'm saying, a man in the ISUPK, man. It says, it's the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 7 verse 28. Which yet my soul seeketh, but I find not. One man among 1,000 have I found. So only one of 1,000 is worth a damn. So if you got you a brother in the ISUPK, then you in good shape. And if you looking to get you a man who's worth a damn, that 1 in 1,000, you in the right place. You know what I mean? But this next part, you know what I mean? So that's what brothers got to put in their chest, right? That's what brothers got to really digest as a Black, Hispanic, and Native American man. This is what you got to digest, that you know what I mean? that a good man, you know what I'm saying, a man who is actually, you know what I mean, a man who is actually worth, you know what I'm saying, a sister worth marrying. And I'm not talking about, you know what I'm saying, getting on one knee and proposing to, but I'm talking about when that sister opened herself up to, you know what I'm saying, open herself up sexually to that man. Once you start sleeping, you know what I'm saying, once you sleep with that man, that is your husband for life, man. But the crazy part about it is, like, the scarcity, the Black men who are willing to stand for their nation and stand on what's right and stand on what the Most High said is so rare, man. That's what brothers need to put in their chest, man. And, you know what I'm saying, there's a whole lot of brothers in this earth, man. And we need to look at ourselves, take a long look at ourselves and say, am I being the type of man who is, you know what I'm saying, who is that 1 of 1,000? Am I the type of man who's, you know what I mean, who's leading my family correctly? Am I, you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, getting counsel? Am I making the correct moves, right? Am I obedient to the men above me, right? Am I going to do what I got to do? Am I going to camp? Am I, you know what I'm saying, moving when I'm called on? Am I handling my business as a priest and prophet like the Most High called us to be? That's what brothers got to put in their chest, man, so that we don't fall, you know what I'm saying, we don't fall back into our old ways, into that old man. But this is what it says about sisters as well. But a woman among all those have I not found. So it's hard to find, you know what I'm saying, solid brothers who will come in and follow orders in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, who will, you know what I'm saying, get in all black and, you know what I'm saying, pour out their old, you know what I'm saying, pour out their old cup, you know what I'm saying, pour out the knowledge that they think they know, you know what I'm saying, and, you know what I'm saying, learn from Commandant General Yohana, who has put decades in this truth and building up these schools in these different zones. But a woman among all those I have found none. So it is hard to find solid brothers who come and serve the Lord with sincerity and shed themselves to the world. But it is doubly scarce to find a woman who will come into this truth and actually become, you know what I'm saying, allow these brothers to guide them and correct them and chastise them and clean them up, and they don't leave. And they don't, you know what I'm saying, tuck tail. They don't go into the world and get themselves some you know what I'm saying, some drug addict or some alcoholic or some child abuser, you know what I mean, or some coward who's gonna abuse their woman. You know what I'm saying? It is doubly scarce for, you know what I'm saying, to find a woman like that. So with that being said, you know what I'm saying, I'm not saying that to big you up, sisters. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying that so that we can take a good long look at ourselves and be really meticulous with how we take correction and how we look at ourselves. Like we tend to, you know what I'm saying, we'll come into school, you know what I'm saying, we'll come in, do our 90 days, wrap our hair, take a picture for the gram or for Facebook, you know what I'm saying, with our head wrapped, and we'll think, or you know what I'm saying, our sisters will think that sets you apart. Same with the brothers. You know what I mean? You'll put a headpiece on, get your braids in and all of that, get it all black, and then pose in the mirror and salute, and you think that sets you apart. But that is the opposite of how we should be looking at this. We should be looking at these statistics and be like, with this being so scarce, how could I possibly, you know what I'm saying, how could I possibly be this 1 in 1,000? Or how can I, you know what I'm saying, it's impossible to find a woman, you know what I'm saying, he's saying he ain't found a woman like that who's willing to come and take correction and be obedient and play her role in this family structure. So when you hear that, you should just put that in your chest and understand, you know what I mean, that it's time to work. It's work to do. You know what I'm saying? You should always be looking at yourself and looking for correction, looking for it. You should be looking for correction and being guided and being, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? All of those things. You should be looking for those things to make sure you are. Let me see. I found that it is, and it takes a lot more than that. Damn right, sister. Like it takes a lot more than, you know what I'm saying, just, you know what I'm saying, just coming up in here and just rapping your head and, you know what I'm saying Shalom Yahweh Shamar Latah, you know what I mean, kind of the one kind. Cause it's real easy. It's real easy. Then you know what I'm saying, you get that name, and then that's one less incentive to, you know what I'm saying, to work hard and really cleanse yourself and shed yourself for the world. And then you get eligible for marriage, and then that's one less incentive. And then you actually get a husband. And then after, a lot of sisters, I'm going to be real with you, a lot of sisters, after they get that husband, after they get that name, you know what I mean? There's no more incentive to continue to shed yourself for the world, continue to cleanse yourself, continue to grow as a sister, man. So what you said was exactly right. And that it takes a whole lot of work, you know what I mean, to really, you know what I'm saying, put on this culture. Because we are so far removed from our culture as blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Like, we can't possibly, you know what I'm saying, you can't possibly come in and just, you know what I'm saying, 90 days, you think that you just, you know what I'm saying, you just got it down packed. Now, you should always be looking for correction. I see a question real quick. I'm going to go ahead and get this question right quick. So we got Proverbs chapter 14, verse 12. Just want a general breakdown, all right? So it says, Salakia, 1 second. Salakia. All right. We got Proverbs chapter 14, verse 12. It says, there is a way which seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. And this is an excellent question, especially for this topic, because this is talking about, you know what I mean, what both these sisters were just talking about just now. You know what I mean? Like, it's a way, like we just read in, where was we at? Like we just read in Ecclesiastes chapter 8, verse 11. It says, because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. So it's setting us to do evil. It also says in the scriptures, paraphrase, I don't want to bounce around too much, but just to give you a precept on this scripture you just asked about, it says that I just lost the precept. It says, the heart is deceitful above all things and is desperately wicked. Who can know it? Right? That's what this is talking about. Like, what you got to understand about yourself, black, Hispanic, and Native American man and woman, what you got to understand about yourself, sister, is that your heart is desperately wicked. And the things that, so back to the scripture, there might be a way that seems right to us, you know what I'm saying? there might be a way that seems right to men, and this is talking about sisters as well. Well, there might be a way that seems right to a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. So it might seem right for us to, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It might seem right for, you know what I'm saying, to hear that, you know what I'm saying, woman is God, right? Let's take that for example. Woman is God. The black woman is God because they the portal to life, right? That's what they taught you in the world, right? That's what brothers was, you know what I'm saying, game you up with in the world. That God, you know what I'm saying, you queen and woman is God. That might seem right, but the end thereof is death, man. Because without a man, you know what I mean, if you deem the woman as God, or you know what I'm saying, you put the woman as the head of the family structure, you get that man up out of there, out of that household. You don't fall under that man's authority and obey him, you know what I mean, and follow those instructions and teach your children to do so. All of those different things are just examples. Like those ways seem right because they make you feel good. They make you feel empowered. They might make you feel empowered. They might make you feel, you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, like you got some worth, and you know what I'm saying, it might make you feel strong and independent, strong independent black woman, right? Well, as good as that might feel, as good as that might, you know what I'm saying, as pleasant as that might seem, the end thereof is death. And you can see it today. You know what I mean? And because our family structure is on its head. Our family structure, you got the women in the, like we read before, we got the women and the children, you know what I'm saying, making the decisions. What we gonna eat? You know what I'm saying? What holidays we gonna keep? What where we, you know what I'm saying, how we make money. You know what I'm saying? Where now we not allowed to vilify, you know what I'm saying, prostitution, because that's all it is. You know what I'm saying? A woman who, you know what I'm saying, sells herself on OnlyFans or spins on a pole, or, you know what I'm saying, even bottle girls. You know what I'm saying? That's just all of those are just forms of prostitution, but we're not allowed to vilify that. It's called sex work now. You know what I mean? That feels good, but the ways they're, you know what I'm saying, because, you know what I'm saying, the ways thereof are death, man. And that's all because our family structure is all out of whack. Our family structure is non-existent, man. It is the death of us, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Like, it's the death of us, man. And what we got to do is just get right back to this family structure, and we got to get right back to our appropriate family structure, and get our lives back. You know what I mean? Get our lives out of the hands of our oppressor, man. You know what I mean? Like, we got to get our lives out of the hands of our oppressor who, you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, they use you know what I'm saying, let me get a preset real quick. But they use our, Salakia, 1 second. But they use, you know what I'm saying, our sisters' desire for power and authority in our relationships, you know what I'm saying. They use that against us to make our men weak. And then once they make the men, or once they got our sisters, you know what I'm saying, out of line, and they got our sisters, you know what I mean, rebelling against the man. Now they use the man's weakness to put the woman over, you know what I'm saying, the household, so that now there's no protection in that household. The scriptures say, you can't spoil a man's good unless you first bind a strong man, and then you'll spoil his goods. So, like, they use that against our black, Hispanic, and Native American households, get rid of the strong family structure that the Most High put in place, so that he can attack us as a whole, as a nation, man. And it's just so heavy. It's so heavy, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, even the whole, like, the whole feminist movement, and the women, or equality to men and all of that. It seems right, you know what I'm saying? It seems amazing, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, a woman could do anything a man could do, and, you know what I'm saying, they're equals and all of that. But the ways thereof are death, man. The ways thereof are death. That's how you got, you know what I'm saying, the LGBTQ community was able to, bust out of that closet like that. And now you can't even look on TV. I saw Blues Clues. Good night. I saw this clip from Blues Clues. We're just like, I couldn't even believe it was real. But you got, you can't even. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? I'm afraid. You know what I'm saying? I don't even want to. I don't even want. I'm afraid to let my children watch TV by themselves. Like every movie that I put on with them, every movie that I put on with my children, I sit down and watch it with them. Like every new Disney movie or every new cartoon movie, Pixar, whatever the case is, every new children's show that they want to watch. You know what I mean? I sit down and watch it with them. You know what I mean? And it's crazy, and it's crazy that, you know what I'm saying, a grown man got to sit down and watch cartoons, but that's just the state that we in. Because now, you know what I'm saying, you can't watch a cartoon, you can't watch a TV show, you can't watch a movie without there's some, you know what I'm saying, them sprinkling and sneaking some old homosexuality. It's a lock you. But you can't watch a cartoon without even, you know what I'm saying, without suspecting or expecting some sort of sexual deviancy or some homosexuality popping out. You know what I'm saying? Popping out of the woodwork. That ain't got nothing to do with the plot of the movie or the show. It ain't got nothing to do with the damn storyline. But they gonna sprinkle it in there anyway. And that's because our family households is out of whack. So that's pretty much. I hope I don't want to, you know what I'm saying, overdo it, but I hope that answered your question. Like it might be things that there might be things that we might think are, you know what I'm saying, righteous. It might be some things that we might think sound good, like, you know what I'm saying, equality for, you know what I'm saying, women equality and LGBTQ community and loving everybody. God loves everybody and all of that. But the end thereof is death. That's why it's important for us to that's why it's so important for us to just, you know what I mean? That's why it's so important for us to just put ourselves, just take a look at ourselves, man. Take a good look at ourselves and you know what I'm saying, be critical of every decision that we make and make sure we don't do anything. The scriptures say do nothing without getting counsel. But we have to make sure, if you got a husband, before you make a move behind his back, man, make sure you get counsel from your husband, man, so that you don't make a mistake, man, so that you don't make a fatal mistake and bring death into your household. And death ain't always just, you know what I'm saying, you losing your life. Death is, in the scripture, is you experiencing these curses, you suffering while you're alive. You know what I'm saying? You got, you know what I'm saying, you got to live without a father because somebody then bust in that home and then snatch that man up. Or now your whole family homeless because, you know what I mean, you done kicked your husband out the house so that you can get these welfare benefits, but then you sneaking another man in and out the house, and then they do that random inspection on you, and then they see that they see them Jordans, you know what I'm saying, up in there, them size 14 Jordans up in there, and now they like, oh, you know what I'm saying, they see you got a man in the house, despite, you know what I'm saying, you tell them you ain't got no man, and now you and your kids is getting put out on the street. Or, you know what I'm saying, it's a whole list of, it's a whole list of things, you know what I mean, that lead us to death. We think is right. But the end thereof, like I said in Proverbs chapter 14, verse 12, the end thereof is death. Let's get another precept, Salakia. Just for the topic and just to that question. Ecclesiasticus chapter 26, verse 10. If thy daughter be shameless, keep her in straitly, lest she abuse herself through overmuch liberty. See, it might be, you know what I'm saying, it might sound good, you know what I'm saying, for you to, you know you know what I'm saying, like in the Christian church, you know what I'm saying, they say, oh, we equals, you know what I'm saying, we partners, and we are, that's my equal, you know what I'm saying, that's what they say in the Christian church, you know what I mean. I saw this clip the other day, you know what I'm saying, was a woman, you know what I'm saying her vows, and it say through sickness and health, through richer and poorer, she got the repeat, and she said for richer, she repeated that, but then when it got the for poorer, she was like, she, you know what I'm saying, she arched her eyebrows. She was like, I don't know who you thought I was. And then she say, to obey. And she was like, she straight up just skipped that one. You know what I mean? She just, you know what I mean? But that's what's allowed in the Christian church. Because they want to, you know what I'm saying, it seems right for you to regard your wife as your equal. And I'm not saying, you know what I'm saying, I'm not saying that you know what I'm saying, if you're a woman, you a sister, you're worth less than your husband, or you just, you know what I'm saying, you can't bring ideas or suggestions. I'm not saying that you can't make better decisions than your husband. You know what I'm saying? Because some brothers is just, you know what I'm saying, out here just nutcases out here. But nobody's saying that you're not, you know what I'm saying, you're not better with the finances. Nobody's saying that you can't be better with the children, or you can't, you know what I'm saying, be, you know what I'm saying, maybe you might be a sister who might be in the truth, but your husband's not in the truth. I'm not saying those scenarios don't exist, but what I'm saying is that man, if you chose that man, he is your head, and according to the Most High, for the Most High to be with you, you have to be everything has to be done decently and in order. So you have to be up under that man. You have to submit to that man and yield to that man. It says, lest she abuse herself through overmuch liberty. So it might sound good to call yourself equal with your husband, but you give yourself, you know what I'm saying, it's wise for us to, you know what I'm saying, for your husband to, or it's wise for that father to raise that daughter to be in the family structure that the Most High gave, the Christ, man, woman. It's wise for us to operate in that way so that your daughter, it doesn't abuse herself with all the freedom that this world gives her. Because right now, the freedom that women have, you know what I'm saying, is crazy. Like, it get crazy right now. Let's get one more. Salakia. Let's see. But I hope that answered your question. Let me know if you need any more. But it is the point the point being that we need to get back to, it's high time for us to get back to our family structure in the way that the Most High instructed us to behave as blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and how he you know what I mean, how he structured our families to be. Because right now, you know what I'm saying, we don't have a lot of time. Like the things that's going on in this world, like, you know what I'm saying, a lot of these things might go over our heads. But the bottom line is World War III is knocking on the door. And as a black, Hispanic, and Native American man, you don't want to be caught up. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be caught up. Once things really start hitting America, once things, you know what I'm saying, once World War III kicks in America's door, you don't want to be caught lacking. You don't want to be caught, you know what I'm saying, by yourself. You know what I'm saying? Uh you don't got no brotherhood to lean on. You ain't got no sisters. For my sisters, you ain't got no sisterhood to lean on. You ain't got no brothers to lean on. You ain't got no husband to lean on. You ain't got no captain or camp leader to lean on to give you instructions to guide your husband or your brothers that's around you, who's gonna be commissioned with the duty to protect our nation once all of this hits the fan. So what we need to do is just humble ourselves as blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, because our lives will very well depend on it. You know what I mean? Depending on who you know what I'm saying, if you gotta, you know what I'm saying, if you know what I'm saying, if you don't have a husband to protect you, or if you're not in you know what I'm saying, if you don't submit yourself to authority, You know what I'm saying? Then once things hit the fan in America, once World War III hits America, and it's just all the violence that you see over in Palestine or in Israel and in Ukraine and all of that. Once all of that hits America, you know what I mean? All we're gonna care about is we're gonna be looking for this structure that we're talking about right now that we've been teaching about since 1969 in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. And by the time we're looking for it, it may very well be too late. But with that, see if there's any questions or comments in the chat. Let me see. Any questions in the room? Or with that, we'll go ahead close it out right there. With that, we're going to say Imagine, which means to stand. We'll give a courtesy salute to the brothers. Men of Israel, Mazel Shabbat. Imagine, Barak, Yahweh Shem Yahshua Brakathum, Yajim Matah. So we're going to turn to face the sisters, give a courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, Mazel Shabbat. Imagine, Barak, Yahweh Shemar Latham Ba Shem Yahshua, Yajim Matah. Dismiss.